Beating the drum for votes in Leipzig. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz left this election rally for his Social Democrat Party in no doubt about his views on Ukraine.
Ukraine and its citizens have the rights to defend their freedom, their democracy and the sovereignty of their state. A peace dictate from Putin is not acceptable, and that is why we will continue to support Ukraine, because that is necessary.
Ukraine has been a big issue during campaigning. On the far left, calling for peace talks, including with Moscow, there is the newly formed left-wing populist group, the Sarah Wagenknecht Alliance, Reason and Justice, known as BSW. The BSW looks set to make their first entrance into the EU Parliament. Policies include stopping weapons shipments to Ukraine, raising minimum wages across the EU, and watering down climate goals, which is popular with those in industrial and manufacturing areas. On the far right, the Alternative for Germany party, the AfD, are also opposed to more aid being sent to Kiev. Despite a series of scandals, they could still make a strong showing. EU parliamentary elections are a chance for voters to send a message to those in power nationally.
It's seen as a secondary election, and in secondary election you kick the shins of the government, and then you have protest, and then we have other parties on the extreme left that are flirting with Russia, and on the extreme right that are flirting with a nationalist perspective and also flirting with Russia. So it's kind of a horseshoe flirting with the two edges with each other, and then a big majority of establishment parties in the center, and that is their dividing line.
Scholz's appearance in Leipzig was to support incumbent EU Parliament Vice President Katharina Barley in the upcoming vote. She says she recognises many feel differently, but believe Germany must stay the course in support for Ukraine.
We also want peace for Ukraine. We all want that. I know that we don't always agree on how exactly we can achieve this peace. I have respect for everyone who sees it differently than I do, because I know that we agree on the goal. And my position is that, as long as the people of Ukraine want to defend themselves, we're on their side and must support them in doing so. That is our moral duty.
For voters in the east of Germany, one of their biggest concerns is making sure the conflict in Ukraine ends and doesn't spread.
You can't let them run into a wall and perish. That won't be a solution either. So where is the solution? Well, if I knew, I think I probably would get a medal.
I
hope the war doesn't continue, that it doesn't spread further across Europe. I think that's the most important thing. And in my opinion, that can only be achieved if we continue to support Ukraine with weapons.
They have to negotiate every day, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, somewhere. There must always be discussions. There must be a willingness on both sides for those who get along with each other.
With centre-right parties set to make up the largest bloc in the next EU Parliament, it's unlikely that European Union policy on Ukraine will change. But there are questions over what impact potential gains for far-right and far-left parties could have on future decision-making. Peter Oliver, CGTN, Berlin.